Hi everyone. First of all, I'm thanking all of you watching this to learn something new and useful. Today, let's open our mind to get to know about sickle cell anemia and thalassemia. So, how many of us know about these disorders? I'm sure nearly 80% of us don't know about these disorders, and almost none of us could be affected by these disorders because these are rare but serious conditions to human life. Now, let's discuss about sickle cell anemia. The disease is not gender related because it is an autosome linked recessive trait that can be transmitted from parents to their children. So, what is autosome? Autosome refers to the 22 pairs of chromosomes a normal human has along with one pair of allosome, which means 6 chromosomes. The chromosomes are nothing but a thread-like structure present in the nucleus of a cell that carries long pieces of DNA materials that holds genetic information. An allele is one of two or more versions of DNA sequence. Generally, an individual receives 23 chromosomes from father and 23 chromosomes from mother, and the individual inherits two alleles, one from each parent. This is how genetic information is passed from one generation to another, and this is how sickle cell anemia is transmitted from parents to their children. An individual is affected when both of his or her parents are heterozygous, which means both of them carrying the gene of the disorder in their chromosome. The disease is controlled by a single pair of allele, HPA and HPS. Out of three possible genotypes of children who are to be born to this heterozygous couple are HPS-HPS, HPA-HPS, HPA-HPA. Only the homozygous individuals for HPS-HPS are affected with sickle cell anemia. Heterozygous individuals with HPA-HPS appear apparently unaffected, but they are carriers of the disease as there is 50% probability of transmission of mutant gene to the progeny, thus exhibiting sickle cell anemia. The defect is caused by the substitution of glutamic acid by valine at the 6th position of the beta-globin chain of the hemoglobin molecule. Here lies the importance of protein in our body. Hemoglobin is an important protein molecule in the RBC that helps in binding and grabbing the O2 molecule, transporting it to various organs of the body, including brain, for their regular function. A protein is made up of amino acid. Each amino acid has a particular codon, as now we see in the screen, like AAG for lysine amino acid, GAT for aspartic amino acid. Some amino acid may have more than 2 codons that has to be coded by mRNA in order to produce the respective amino acids and forming a complete protein molecule. Just think, what if the mRNA codes wrong codon? Obviously, it results to the different amino acid production leads to the destruction of that protein molecule. Here at the 6th position of the beta-globin gene of hemoglobin protein, a single base substitution is happening that is resulting in the production of valine amino acid instead of glutamic acid, and this is leading to the mutation of hemoglobin molecule undergoes polymerization under low oxygen tension, causing the change in the shape of the RBC from biconcave to elongated sickle-like structure. So, the RBC loses its ability to carry the O2 molecule to the body organs. The lack of oxygen-rich blood can damage the nerves and organs, including kidneys, liver, and spleen, and can be fatal. Currently, the only cure for sickle cell disease is a bone marrow transplantation. This procedure involves replacing bone marrow affected by sickle cell anemia with a healthy bone marrow from a donor, usually done with a matched donor such as siblings who doesn't have sickle cell anemia. But this is only recommended for children who have significant symptoms and complications of sickle cell anemia. Blood transfusion is another method in which healthy RBC of a donor is given to the patient through veins. This helps to reduce the complications by increasing the number of normal RBC in the patient. If a patient undergoes regular transfusion, it leads to risks including immune response of the patient to the donor blood and excess iron building up in the body of the patient that can damage the patient's heart, liver, and other organs. According to a new report, people with sickle cell anemia have a life expectancy more than 2 decades shorter than the general population. Breathing with pain and extreme tiredness are some of the symptoms of the disease. Painful swelling in your hands or feet is often the first symptom of the baby with sickle cell anemia. Now, it's time to discuss about thalassemia. This is correlated to sickle cell anemia. Thalassemia has many conditions similar to sickle cell anemia. This is also an autosome-linked recessive blood disorder transmitted from parents to the offspring when both the parents are unaffected but carried for the gene. More exactly to say, they are heterozygous. This is an inherited blood disorder characterized by less oxygen carrying protein and fewer RBC in the body than normal. The defect could be due to the either mutation or deletion in the gene, which ultimately results in the reduced rate of synthesis of one of globulin chain. It may be alpha or beta chain that make up the hemoglobin molecule. As a result of production of less number of hemoglobin than normal affects the RBC of the body that they only live for shorter period of time. When there are not enough healthy RBC, there is also not enough oxygen delivered to all the other cells of the body, which may cause a person to feel tired, weak, or short of breath. Here, I introduce a major difference between thalassemia and sickle cell anemia. That is, sickle cell anemia can only affect the beta chain of the globin protein, but thalassemia can affect both alpha and beta chains of hemoglobin protein and fall under two categories such as alpha thalassemia and beta thalassemia. In alpha thalassemia, production of alpha globulin chain is affected, where in beta thalassemia, production of beta globulin chain is affected. Alpha thalassemia is controlled by two closely linked genes HPA1 and HPA2 on chromosome 16 of each parent, and it is observed due to mutation deletion of one or more genes, while beta thalassemia is controlled by a single gene HBB on chromosome 11 of each parent and occurs due to mutation of one or both the genes. The type of thalassemia that a person has depends on how many or what type of triad for thalassemia a person has inherited or received from their parents. For instance, if a person receives a beta thalassemia triad from the father and another from his mother, he will have beta thalassemia major. Same for alpha thalassemia. Facial bone deformities, slow growth, dark urine are some of the symptoms of thalassemia. Once again, let's remember the difference between thalassemia and sickle cell anemia. That is, sickle cell anemia is caused by the production of destructive hemoglobin that circulates the oxygen, whereas thalassemia is caused by the drop in the hemoglobin level, which is responsible for the circulation of oxygen. Finally, I conclude my speech with prayers for everyone. Let's live every moment of our life to the fullest, because we may never know when it might end. So let's stay positive and spread love. Thank you, and hope we will meet again in another video.